Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is Under the Radar, where we discuss all things film. And I want to welcome two very special guests today. I've got director Sarah Martin, and also assistant director Eric McAuliffe. I'm never going to get that right. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for being here today. How are you doing?
Good, thank you for having us.
Cool. So, yeah, we got a few things to discuss. I know that you guys are currently working on a new horror film, Menagerie.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so Menagerie is about a real-life serial killer who murders prostitutes and cuts out their eyeballs. And then he sews those eyeballs into taxidermy. It's a true story. Okay. He's from Texas, and he is still alive to this day. Okay. He's in a Texas mental institution. So we're actually in the middle of getting an interview with him because I think that'll be very valuable for the film.
Like the end of the credits?
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool.
In black and white.
Right. No, exactly. I think that would be great. And so we're already halfway done with filming.
Great.
And the rest of the movie is going to be filmed here on Long Island. We're going to be filming at Suffolk County Community College. We're going to be turning it into a police headquarters. It's going to be pretty cool. And also a hospital. Okay. But we already filmed in Mississippi and in Connecticut as well.
Why Mississippi?
The reason why we actually went down south was because our younger actor who plays the young killer, I actually used him in my last film, Nefarious, and they ended up moving halfway through production to Mississippi. So every time we needed him, they drove on their dime to New York just to film for us about 6 times. Like it was, a lot that they did for us. Okay. So I promised his mother if we ever used him again that we'd come to him. Okay. And sure enough, we found something we could use for him, so we drove there.
That's so cool.
And it was amazing. We stayed at this beautiful cabin. It was awesome. Wow. I had a great time. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you and Eric meet up? How did that connection start?
We worked for this really sketchy radio show a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you the name of it.
Okay.
She found me in a basement.
I found him, and
she rescued you.
I rescued him, and it was a great fuck you quit.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And it was awesome. And basically, he lost all his employees in the same day. Uh-huh. So yeah, but yeah, so he's been on the team ever since.
Nice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Eric, what is your role exactly on Menagerie?
Hey, D. Well, I pretty much just help around, do everything I can. Whatever she needs, I get done.
Okay. And are you guys are you fascinated by horror? Is that why you? How did this project come about?
Well, there's if you ever watch CSI or Forensic Files, there's actually an episode about this guy. His name's Charles Albright, and I saw the episode on Forensic Files about 7 years ago, and it always kind of stuck with me because I was like, oh, this guy's a real weirdo, who the hell cuts out eyeballs and sews them into taxidermy? It's very strange. He was really obsessed with eyes.
Sounds like the killer in Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
He wears the skin.
Instead of the skin, it's the eyes.
Okay.
Very strange and creepy. And he thought that eyeballs were pure, so that the prostitutes didn't deserve them. And
wow.
He was really weird. He would cut eyeballs out of newspapers and just really strange hobbit type of a guy. And anyway, so I saw that 7 years ago, and it kind of stuck with me. And then more recently, within the last 2 years, I saw the Forensic Files episode again, and then the same day, my mom was watching CSI, and it was another episode on him. Wow. So I was like, oh, let me see if anyone's done a movie on this guy.
Wait, 2 separate shows?
Right, in the same day.
Wow.
So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me look it up. There wasn't, sure enough, no movie done on him. Okay. And I was like, okay, so he's done these shows, but he doesn't have a movie. I was like, let me write this movie. So I did.
That's awesome.
So that's it. That's really...
Were there any other titles like The Eyeball Killer or
yeah, I thought about
I See You?
I thought about other titles, but I have to go and meet with him still before I can use any of his trademark names. So we're going to see what happens in the meeting. Okay. And I'll either end up changing the name of the title or I'll just keep it as is, Menagerie. Because right now, as it's set up, it's good for use. I can use it. So I'm not sure, what I'm going to do.
That's pretty intense research. You're actually going to go and interview him.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That's insane.
I want to ask him if he likes my eyes.
I don't think you should ask that.
Do you like my eyes?
I'm sure
Charles?
I'm sure he will, and you don't want to know the answer.
You have a melon bowl ready for that.
Right.
Yeah, he's ready.
I think it would be fun. I wonder if it would freak me out. I don't feel nervous about it, but a few of my friends were like,
I'm nervous for you. No.
Right, but I think that he can't be right in front of me.
Right.
Because he is in a mental institution. I think they keep a wall. Okay. It's like a plastic.
Yeah, it's
plexi.
Yeah, again, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, really creepy.
Eric, are you going to go to this meeting as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other crew members or?
No, just us.
Just you guys?
So, well, I guess good riddance because he's going to kill us. No. So, just kidding. He just wants our eyes.
That'll be the sequel.
Yeah, Menagerie 2.
So yeah, we are going to go there and see him.
So you mentioned there's a younger actor playing him?
Yes.
Is that what you mean, like a kid and then an adult?
Right. I've got a young version of the killer, so you can see him growing up and why he's kind of a little bit twisted and why he became the way he is. Right. And then I have the adult version where he does the actual killings. Right. Because when he was a kid, he would kill animals. Like, it was not a big deal for him. He would kill squirrels, raccoons, birds, the neighbor's cat.
Sociopath, yeah.
Yeah, like really it started with that, and he did taxidermy. So he was, not only did he kill him, he dissected them. And when the police first saw the first girl that was murdered and her eyes were missing, they thought they were looking for a surgeon. Because he was so good at what he did.
Did he have... So was taxidermy his training for that? Or was
his whole life.
Did he have medical training at all? Or?
No medical training, but his mom... He was homeschooled, and his mom was very protective of him. And she actually encouraged him to do the taxidermy schooling. So he went to all these different schools, and he even went to advanced classes for taxidermy. Wow. And she helped him with it.
Not knowing that her son's future would be that
I don't
grim.
know. Because here's the weirder part about it. The taxidermy... She wouldn't allow him to get those glass marble eyes that you see in real taxidermy. So they would sew buttons onto the eyes, which I think is creepy in and of itself. I mean, what a weirdo. So you have to think maybe the mom was a little messed up too. Oh my God. You know?
Eric, what do you think? Wait, what drew you to this project? I'm curious.
Well, we work together, so that's what really drew.
Okay.
Yeah, we work together, so that's it.
Listen, I tell Eric we have a music video to shoot tomorrow night. Yeah. We're shooting that music
video. So you guys are partners in crime all the way.
Yeah, we do everything. So cool. We do music videos, we do interviews, we do celebrity interviews, we do short films, we do promos, we do commercials, you name it. That's what we're out doing all the time.
And Sarah, I wanted to ask you, that's a lot of different jobs. Like,
it is.
What's it like wearing so many hats?
It's nerve-wracking. I think you can tell, like, in the beginning of the set day, I'm like a little... crazy.
But you probably thrive in that kind of environment.
Yeah, no, it's better for me. You know, I like the pressure, and I get it all done. And there's no way I'm going to stop production until I get that shot that I need. Okay. So I'm very gun-ho,
Do you have a favorite role, like actor, director, editor?
I like doing the film work. Honestly, I like making the picture come together because I know I don't like someone else in control of it because I know what it's going to look like, and I want to make sure I do a good job. Okay. So that's very important that I have that shot that I want.
That's great.
Yeah.
So guys, both of you, tell us a little bit about your resume. Like, what are some of your highlights?
I do the film work. I edit. I produce. I do all the scheduling. I wear all the hats, I guess. Yeah. I do the hiring. I do the firing. Yeah. So. Awesome. Yeah. It's never good when I fire you. So.
Is it your own production company then?
It's my own production company. As well as my own, I also work for several others. So that's, I've worked with Joan Jett. I've worked with Edward Asner. I worked with Alec Baldwin, Danny Glover. I've worked with Ron Jeremy. So I worked with a lot of people already. I've only been doing this for about 3 years. Okay. So, I've come a really long way. And I'm going to go to the top. So.
What was Ron Jeremy like?
Gross. Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He was gross.
Gross, but kind of sweet in a way.
No. He was really gross.
It's really
sorry.
He's gross and old now.
Yeah. But you know what?
He's always looked the same though.
He's still getting it. So good for him. Okay. He's not getting it from me, but he's getting it, and good for him.
It's porn royalty.
Yeah. Can you believe he's being accused of sex crimes? Are you kidding?
You can't be that shocked.
Come on. You knew what you were doing, girl.
Yeah.
You knew. It's Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Come on.
The king of porn.
I think his dick is taller than him. I'm just saying. But anyway, no, he was actually a nice guy, but...
no, yeah, kind of sleazy.
I mean, I don't want to touch him.
Okay. But back to Menagerie. Who's in the film? Who are some rising stars? Any veterans?
Yes, we've got Avery Zangri. He's an amazing actor. Okay. The second you tell him to be off script, he's got his lines memorized. He's doing his thing. He's very, very talented and up and coming for sure.
Good.
He was actually one of the callbacks for the show Stranger Things. He almost got one of the leads, so that was really exciting, but disappointing at the same time because you never know how casting's going to go. So he does have what it takes, and I think he's going to go all the way.
Now, is that the kid or is that the adult version?
That's the kid version.
Kid version, okay.
Yep, and then we have Robin Sachs-Babina. She plays the mother of the killer. Okay. She's also amazing. She came to Mississippi with us, and she was a real good sport about everything. Nice. So it was awesome. So I want to highlight those guys right now. So they're amazing.
Did this start off as a short?
No.
Okay.
No, I went for the full feature.
Okay.
Yeah, right away I knew
ambitious.
I knew I wanted to make it. All of my short films have won awards. I was ready to just do feature.
Nice.
So, ready to go to the top, you know?
Okay. Nice. And what's it like working with Mr. Eric here?
Amazing.
Yes.
Anything you need done, he does it. There's no questions asked. As a matter of fact, he even got hit by a car on set one time.
Oh, God.
And it was a hit and run. I'm not kidding. And he still worked through it.
Was that part of the movie?
I wish we got it on camera because at least we would have gotten the license plates.
Yeah.
And, it was interesting. And he still worked through the whole
Eric,
thing.
are you okay now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
And the irony, he was like bleeding from his leg. And
These are actually the pants.
They are the pants. He had them fixed.
Yeah.
There was a hole in his pants. And he really, he really does an amazing job on set. Great. And he can count on him for everything.
So how many projects have you, or is this your first project together, or?
Was this our third?
Third?
This is our third film project together.
Okay.
But we've done so many things. We've done music videos, interviews, commercial work. Nice. So a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that you wouldn't even know that we're doing it.
What are some of the commercials, the products you've done?
We've done car detailing. We did music video stuff.
Okay.
A lot of music video.
Home improvement videos.
Home improvement, right? We did these windows,
yeah.
construction video on windows. So.
Okay, random.
Yeah, whatever people want. It's really about the client. If they say they want a video, I sit down with them. We map it out. We have a plan.
Okay.
From start to finish. I go, how do you want it? What's your budget? What kind of money are we working with here? We'll try to make the best we can out of your budget.
Okay.
Your budget has to be realistic, though. I'm not talking about a few $100. We're talking about a few $1,000s. Right. So, it's real video work. If you want it done right, you got to pay the price, and that's it. Anyone that lowballs us, I'm going to say sorry. That's, for more, you'll get this. Okay. So,
And you guys are based in Long Island?
Yes, we are based in Oakdale, New York.
What's the name of the company?
Silent Envy Productions.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that?
Eric and I did, actually, one night at the bar. It was great because I was transitioning from an old company with my old business partner, so we kind of went our separate ways, and I took over everything, and I needed a new name.
Okay.
So we were kind of sitting there, and I was like, Silent Envy, and Eric's like, that should be the name of the company. And I was like, oh, yeah, that should be. That's a great idea.
What was the previous name?
I'm not going to mention it right now.
Okay.
Me and my partner have split.
Okay. Okay. It's kind of dicey there.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation.
Okay.
So I moved on from that. But I've worked with Fred Carpenter films. I'm not sure if you know who he is. He's a Long Island filmmaker. I've done a few things with him.
Okay.
I work a lot in Manhattan with a lot of different producers and directors. So I'm constantly getting calls in. To the point where sometimes I have to say no to certain projects. So. Which I hate to do. I really want to tell everyone yes and be available, but I'm not. And
how big is your team?
We're a crew of 6.
Oh.
It's a very small crew.
Okay.
And I like it that way.
Okay.
Because I wear many hats. I do most of the stuff anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather keep it that way.
That's good.
And we have a lot of people that intern with us, come and go. So I'm always looking for interns if anyone's trying to learn behind the scenes. But please don't be a pain in the ass on set because I will remove you. So sorry. I can't afford it. So we run a really tight schedule, and it's important,
So are features like your main goal, like?
I guess anything film wise.
Okay.
I love making movies. I love the creative process. I love watching a movie come to life. It's from start to finish.
Now this is for both of you. Do you guys have any inspiration, like any filmmakers that have inspired you?
Go ahead, Eric. Tell them who you love.
Clint Eastwood.
Nice.
He loves Clint Eastwood.
He's
loves
great.
Westerns.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Great.
I'm really a huge Tarantino fan, so
What are some of your favorite Eastwood films?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is one of my favorite. Pale Rider, Mules for Sister Sarah.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then then the newer one, Gran Torino.
Nice.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and then Trouble with the Kurds, like him.
I didn't see that one. That's with Timberlake, right?
Yeah, it's actually a really good movie. I like it.
I saw In the Line of Fire recently.
Oh, that's a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Malkovich is the villain. Works.
Awesome.
How about you, Sarah?
Well, I actually recently got to go to a Tarantino premiere, and it was for The Hateful Eight.
Oh, yes.
And that was so amazing to be there,
Yes,
and it was incredible. And you've got crew members right there with you watching it, and it was it was a real big deal.
Where was this?
This was in the city. I forget the name of the place, but my friend, I get a lot of invites to things. And
well, this was a couple years ago.
Yes, it was. That was one of my favorite experiences.
Nice.
Because I do love Tarantino, and it was really cool to be there because I've never done anything like that. Normally, I can't go or I'm too busy, but my friend was like, "I got this ticket." He's like, "You've got to come with me." He's like, "You need to see this." So I was like, okay. I was like, how long is the movie?
It's long.
3 hours.
Yes.
I was like, great. I'm like, I can't wait. But it was amazing, and it was worth every minute.
Was the cast and crew there for a Q&A?
I don't think they actually did a Q&A, and Tarantino was not there, so it was disappointing. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was a great night. I had a great time, and it's cool. But they were doing like autographs in the lobby, but I don't really bother people with that crap.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I feel like it's like annoying.
So is Tarantino like your main inspiration, like your hero?
I wouldn't say he's my hero. I think he's amazing and quirky, and I think he does his own thing. I think he breaks the rules. I like that. I like that he doesn't stop people from doing what he wants to do. I like that he puts himself in all his movies. I think that's fabulous. I do the same thing.
You do?
Yeah, a small cameo. Nothing major. I like the element of surprise there.
That's cool.
I actually was cutting all of my lines last week. I was like, this is too much. I'm like, I just want to say hello and goodbye.
You want to be like an Alfred Hitchcock, like you just
yeah, exactly, like a Hitchcock.
Yeah, just nice.
But yeah, his movies are amazing.
Nice.
What don't you like about it? Kill Bill? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Even Grindhouse was pretty good.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, all of his movies.
Yeah.
And same with Clint Eastwood. Amazing.
Yeah.
And once again, another amazing guy. So.
Now, are there any actors or other filmmakers you like to collaborate with? Like, other than Tarantino?
I mean, collaborate with, I don't know. No, I guess not. I kind of do my own thing too.
Okay.
And I kind of write how I feel, and, I try to play the situations in my head and how I would film it and how I would look at it and if this makes sense. I always send my scripts out to get them read by 3 different people. I always do 3.
Okay.
3 different people that are going to give me non-biased opinions. Not like, oh, Sarah, this is great. I'm like, no. Tell me what wasn't great. Tell me the parts that aren't great, and I fix them. And they do. They tell me good feedback, and I'm like, you know what? I see what you mean. I was like, let me rewrite this, and I'll resend it to you, and I do. And then they tell me what they mean, because I don't want to fail either. I know that sometimes I can't see everything. So I need other people to kind of help me out. So I do. I send them to 3 people. They tell me their feedback, and I change things as I see them, or I'll change things to make more sense. I go, what do you think about the characters? Is there anybody out of place that I should change? Do these all make sense? Are you thinking about any of them? Did you, did somebody not make sense? So I always ask. I love feedback. I don't want someone to just woo me and say, hey, you're amazing. That's so great. Sarah, you're so amazing.
You need honesty. You need multiple viewpoints to,
Yeah, because there's, everybody messes up sometimes, and it's good to have a real perspective, because I'm not going to be perfect all the time. So tell me where I'm messing up. Tell me what I can do better.
Now, speaking of imperfections, were there any challenges on set? Or are there any challenges currently on set?
I feel like the only challenge so far was just driving to Mississippi.
Wow.
And with a trailer hitch on the back. So it was it was a new experience for me, and it was just overwhelming. And we drove straight through.
Wow.
It was like 20 hours.
From Long Island?
From Long Island.
How long? What did you say, 12?
20 hours.
20? Okay.
20 hours straight through. It was like driving to Florida.
A real adventure.
It was crazy, but I felt really cool because we were amongst the big rigs, and I was like, "Look, I'm you in training." I felt really cool, and it was awesome. And the roads are just—I love open roads. I love road trips. I thought it was fun, and I'd never been to Mississippi before, and I don't know a lot of people who have been to Mississippi before.
Yeah, I haven't been yet.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Did all 6 of you go?
Well, yes, but there was only 3 of us in the car.
Okay.
The rest of our crew and cast flew in. We had my PA from Texas fly in. We had some of my actors from Connecticut flew in.
Wow.
And then most of them lived there. And then we had one of our actors from Tennessee drive.
That's crazy.
So everyone came from all over the country to be there for production. So it was awesome.
That's great.
It's really fun when it all comes together and it works out.
And when you work with people that are serious about it, that makes it all the more special.
And I'm all about teamwork. So I don't just bark commands. I'm there helping. We have to move this table. I'm there helping you move the table. We've got to move the furniture. Anything like that. I'm there right there with them.
She's in the trenches.
Yeah.
I'll stand there next to them. I'm like, this is how I want you to stand. I'm really in there with them, and I don't want them to fail.
Have you always been this detail-oriented, this motivated?
I think I've gotten better over the years. I think some of the situations I was put in, I was kind of forced to do this stuff myself.
Okay.
And I ended up liking doing this. And I like the control, and I know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I know what I want. So really, it's better this way that I'm doing all these things. Because if for some reason something's out of line, or, I can't redo it. Once you have the shot, that's it. So it has to be done right the first time.
Okay.
And however many takes as it takes.
Yeah.
Literally. So I don't want my actors to fail. I don't want them to look bad. I don't want to look bad because that's what I'm putting out. So, I really try my best to do my best work. And I'm always learning. There's always something to be learned in this industry.
Yeah.
It's never ending. So, in time, it's really experience. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to do the work. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
I know so many people who have quit.
I did one job, a background acting job.
Yeah.
And they tell you like the day of.
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
Yeah, and it's like a 12-hour shoot.
It's endless.
They barely feed you, you know. It's like, but you know what? It is kind of rewarding. It's a fun industry to be in.
Yeah, it can be. I've seen both sides of it. I've worked with horrible production companies. I've worked with really good ones. I've worked with like ginormous sets and setups and cameras and amazing equipment, and I've also worked with the lower end. And you know what? It really doesn't matter as long as you have that team environment. Really.
Yeah. And we also feed you.
Oh yeah, and food is the most important thing on set, I say.
I may have to visit the set sometime.
You absolutely should. I mean, we're going to be filming here on Long Island, and if your actors are hungry, it's not good. And make sure you have good food. Don't just throw them a slice of pizza. Yeah. Come on.
What do you normally have?
We do buffets, and we have caterers come in, and it's amazing.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we've got coffee. We'll run. If the kids want hot chocolate, we'll get hot chocolate for the kids. Stuff like that. Special requests. If they have a special request, I ask them. I actually email everybody individually and I say, is there something you want on set just for you? Because you know what? It's a long day.
Right. And some have allergies.
And honestly, the extra $50 for a special little snack like a chocolate bar, like I don't care. You know what I mean? For everybody to have their one thing. And it makes people feel special. And you want your people to be comfortable. And
yeah, that's so great.
And you have to do that for them. You have to give back because you know what? They're going to give it right back to you.
Right.
And the people that don't, well, I'll see you later because, I don't have time. Right. There's always somebody else that wants to do it and wants it more than you. So just remember that. Everybody is replaceable in this industry. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to get everything right and make sure everybody's doing what they got to do. And they love it just as much as you.
I want to work for you. You're great.
I'm just really into my craft. This is what I want to do.
No, I can see that.
I wish I did it sooner in life, actually.
Right.
But you know what? Everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And I wish I did it a lot longer. Like a lot. I've only been doing this almost 3 years now. So.
Well, it seems like you've been doing it for like 10.
Yeah, nobody believes me. They're like, have you been doing this for a while? I'm like, just about 3 years. I started the second production company 2 years ago, so not long. But I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly learning from people that are better than me, and that's the only way to go. If somebody can't bring something to the table where I'm going to learn from them, then I'm moving on. And I check it out and I give it a chance, but I need to learn. If I can't grow, it's not benefiting me. Right. So you always have to make sure you're growing and learning and open. Right. You have to be willing to accept that sometimes things aren't going to go the way you want. And it's the way it goes. Yeah. Anything can happen. Like, I had a production where I was doing a short film, and my young actor's grandfather died. She got the call right in the middle of set, and it was horrifying. I felt heartbroken for her. So we gave her the time she wanted, and she got up off the floor, and she said, I still want to do this. Wow. I said, are you sure? Do you need to take the day? She's like, no, let's go. And she did it.
Yeah, she needed a distraction.
Amazing job, too.
Yeah.
She really pulled through, and I can't thank her enough. And then another situation on this actual production, we just finished filming, and one of my leads, her best friend died, and she got the call, and it just, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. So it was really sad, and you just have to be there, and things happen. Right. Something, electricity could go out, and then you're screwed. But we have backup generators because we're prepared.
Good.
But anything can happen. So. Right. You never know.
Well, wow. Yeah.
Sorry. I know, this is amazing.
That was intense.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yes, yes.
So I ask everybody this. Favorite movies, top 3. Eric, you're up.
Oh, thank goodness.
Top 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Boondock Saints.
Nice.
My last one.
Menagerie.
Oh, gosh. Okay. My Cousin Vinny is my favorite movie in the world.
Awesome.
I know every single line, like, religiously.
2 youths.
The 2 youths. Yeah, it's disgusting how much I love it. And then, this is going to seem really weird, but I really like the movie Biodome.
Biodome.
I know, it's so stupid. But,
not my favorite, but, I prefer In the Army now, actually.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, and I love Natural Born Killers.
Oh, yeah. So, was that written by Tarantino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course. I gotta slip a Tarantino movie in there, right?
Of course.
So that's...
Eastwood and Tarantino, they should team up.
I know.
That would be
How
insane.
incredible would that be? So, that's... Yeah, that's...
All right. Well, other than Menagerie, anything you guys want to plug?
Right now, just Menagerie. That's my feature film about the serial killer, and then
Silent Envy Productions.
Silent Envy Productions.
Alternate title idea: The Taxidermist.
Or if once we get the okay, Albright.
Okay.
That's his last name.
Oh, okay. That works too.
But yes, the Taxidermist. But I always try to find titles that haven't been used, so when you see it, you know it's mine.
Nice.
So I try to have unique titles, and then we're actually going to be working on 3 short films. We already have distribution for it. Okay. I kind of did it backwards. I got distribution before I filmed, so
interesting.
I just have a lot of ties here and there where I try to use my resources very wisely. So I actually have a deadline on that, and I do have 1 month to do these 3 shorts. But I already have it cast, and it's just a waiting game now.
What's that film?
It's 3 different short films, and they're all 3 horror shorts, and I've got a 30-minute window on a network. I can't tell you which one yet, but I'm very excited about it. But I've got a month after we finish Menagerie, which is going to be the end of April. I got to start working on those ones right away. So it should only take about 4 days of production total, and then the rest is just editing on my time. So
that's where the real magic happens, the real time consuming.
Yes, that's where I, cry.
No, you'll get through it. You'll be fine. But
it's fine, and I love the editing process, and I love seeing it come together. And it's not that bad if you do a little bit here or there. Sometimes you got to step away from it.
Yeah.
And go back. So.
Well, I'm glad you can step away right now and be
on the show. Of course. We're actually meeting our actors after this, so we have a meeting. We're meeting somebody at 3 o'clock, then we're meeting someone at 6 o'clock, and we have to pick up some scripts. I mean, we're all over the place. So
wow.
It's unbelievable.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Eric, anything else you want to plug or?
Nothing I can think.
No?
Anything at all, Eric. Anything at all. You're a director for hire. He's a director for hire. He does his own freelance directing when he's not working for me.
There you go.
So he does his own thing. He's got his own equipment. Between the 2 of us, our equipment is unbelievable. We're ready to film anything you need. If you just want 720, that's a piece of cake. If you want 4K, we got you. Anything you need.
Nice.
We have the top of the line, best thing. If you want a high quality work, anything you want film wise, we got you.
Yeah.
All right, and we've got the equipment. And if we don't have it, we'll get it.
Silent Envy Productions.
Silent Envy Productions.
There it is.
All right.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having us.
This was amazing, and I really hope to have you guys on again soon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to come back,
find some time, but miraculously.
Listen, I'm looking for time,
all
right?
Well, good luck with Menagerie. I hope, you don't have a release date yet, right?
It's summer release, but I don't know yet exactly. I'm actually going to be putting it into the festivals this time.
Nice.
And I did a huge premiere last time. It was a 2-time sellout, and then I did nothing with the movie. So I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm going to do with my first movie.
Okay.
Everyone seemed to like it. People have been asking me where they can buy it, where they can see it, and right now I'm kind of like putting it on the back burner. But this movie is going to be festivals, and I'm hoping for the 2019 year. So I got to do that. So it's not actually going to be released to the public yet.
Okay.
So people are going to have to wait. But it'll be out, and don't worry, you'll know all about it.
Menagerie, guys.
Menagerie.
Well, Sarah, Eric, thank you again. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
So guys, we'll be right back. We'll have our film review segment, Everyone's a Critic. We'll be right back after this.
Cool.
guys, we're back with Unger the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger, and right now I've got a full panel of guest critics today. Next to me is Mr. Nick Comando. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Third time's the charm.
Is it? I thought that was the fourth.
No.
Is it only the third?
No, it's the third.
Third, okay.
It's the third.
Okay, cool.
The third. I'm glad you. Do you think that I've
Yes.
done more?
Is that a good thing?
Better about myself.
That's a good thing. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's say it's a good thing.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And next to me again is Mr. Chris O.B., fellow Ghostbuster. How's it going?
How's it going?
We actually just got off last weekend. We weren't here to march in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Boston, which was incredible. Did you have fun there?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right.
Got to ride, in our newly purchased car this year, which is a little uncomfortable, a little tight in the back.
It was tight. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. But it was overall it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good trip. And Mr. CJ Oakland, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. This is your fourth.
I think my fourth, maybe.
Yeah.
Might have been your fifth. You told me
might
you've
be-
done the show 4
Yeah.
times.
Wait, was
might
it
be-
fifth?
It might be my fifth now.
Okay.
Because I came on once to talk about the movie I was working on with Vinny and.
That was the
Jay.
first time.
Yeah, and I think I've been on 4 times to talk about movies.
Okay. Cool.
I feel like you made me watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Not the greatest movies, but there were some good ones peppered
Yeah,
throughout.
I think this might be my 5th time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've never been behind the desk though.
No. Maybe next time.
Not salty about it. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, there's room for that in the future. So we've got just 2 movies to review, and we can just do like a casual movie chat at the end. I Killed Giants. This is a fantasy adventure in the same vein as like Harry Potter. Basically, it's about a young girl who wants to escape the reality of her harsh life by fighting evil giants, and it's basically about her relationship with a counselor played by Zoe Saldana. I thought it was really good, actually. I thought it was a strong film. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is probably the first week where I've enjoyed both movies you sent me.
Yeah.
So good job on that.
Right. It's rare, very rare.
It was a well done movie. You said kind of in the vein of Harry Potter. Chris Columbus produced it.
Right.
One of the,
Right.
I think
He directed the first 2.
Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets.
Right.
Really good movie. Really, I thought it was well written. I really enjoyed the actress who played the girl, Madison Wolfe, I think her name was.
Barbara.
She was very, very good in her role. Imogen Poots was very good as well.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
I don't know how to
Just
pronounce
sounds
I don't know.
funny.
Imogen?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Imogen.
Well, I thought you were talking about the last name. My bad. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really well written movie. I think Madison Wolfe was perfect in the role. I found her very enjoyable as a self-aware 7th grader who was just like, I'm me. People don't understand me. It's cool. Mm-hmm. It made me feel things which I don't always like, but enjoyed in this scenario. But I enjoyed the movie a lot.
Yeah, it was emotional. It was action-packed. As you said, Madison Wolfe she's a great actress in this. Totally believed her in the role. Obi, what'd you think?
I like this one a lot. Like this one, you'll see what I have to say about Madam, but this one I liked a lot, and I identified with this one a lot. Honestly, because it took place on Long Island, and I guess I was the same type of kid. Maybe not as extreme, but I was very imaginative, and I had my little adventures going on in the woods, and I would try and lead my friends and do very similar things to this girl. So I saw a lot of myself in this girl, and I had a broken home, and I had a lot of similar things going on in my life. So I'm this movie was very I followed a lot of the the archetype of this girl. I could see myself fitting into it a lot, but like you said, it was well acted, and it was really there was a lot of heart in it, and it was really good, and I think a lot was left open to interpretation in the end, and the end where you realize that why she was kind of rebelling and with her mother and things like that.
Also, her mother's very sick, so that kind of conflict is very prevalent. I think it was really good, and it's nice to see something small on a small scale like Chris Columbus did, whereas recently he's done the bigger blockbuster type films where he did Harry Potter, or even going further back, his Brat Pack
style movies or like Home Alone, things like he's done like years and years ago. You know, so it was like a real refreshing movie, and I hope this girl like gets a shot at doing something maybe bigger. You know,
I think she will.
I could see her stepping into maybe something in like a Warner Brothers like archetype film, or maybe even like the MCU, or who knows. Like
you can see her as
there's
a
lot of things. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because she has like this great imagination, and she carried it with a lot of gravitas. You know,
I could see her like maybe as a more serious Harley Quinn.
You know, maybe it doesn't even have to necessarily. I'm just saying something big on that scale, not necessarily the MCU, but like she definitely has like the imagination.
She
for it.
carried this film exceptionally well, and I like you said, I want to see more of her. I really do. CJ, what do you think?
I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
Okay.
I thought it was a really great look at like a young girl with like a very damaged past and how she views the world. And it's not one of those like you keep comparing to Harry Potter, which like I get is similar, but it's also like there's no magic in this world. Like in reality, there's not monsters, but we're not seeing this as like other people trying to connect to her, because she doesn't want to connect to anyone, which I thought was very nice. Like there's a very big rule in movies that you have to fall in love with a character in the first 10 minutes, and they said specifically no, like we want a character who doesn't want anyone to like her, and that's the point, is why is she so closed off, why is she retreated to this fantasy world, and we find out why. So to her, she's following all these rituals, like walking around and like setting traps for monsters that nobody else would think was real, but to her all of this is real, like we're seeing it from her world. And I thought that was really wonderfully done and crafted in.
Now, didn't they do something similar in Sucker Punch a couple years ago?
Kind of, but the problem with Sucker Punch is that
it
wasn't so much like a fantasy world. Like it's the idea that Zack Snyder was trying to create like these women who retreat into a fantasy world. So it's like a similar theme there, except with them, like there's no bigger meaning. It's just an excuse to have video game action, and then stuff happens. Like there's no character depth.
Yeah.
Like I knew going into that movie, Zack Snyder would make great visuals, but there's no substance of the story. Like there's nothing going on there really at all until you just get to.
It's just a pretty movie.
That's all it is a pretty movie. Like it doesn't add anything. Like the fact that they're like, oh, we're fighting robots now, it doesn't add anything to what their character's going through. But in this movie, it's very important that this is a small girl who doesn't really have any magic powers, although she believes like if she does this stuff, it will give her strength, and that she's fighting literal giant monsters.
Right.
It's a girl tackling things that she knows are bigger than her, but believes that I want to have the strength to face these things.
Right.
And that's what we see. Like they represent the things in her life. How she does these rituals, that she looks for omens, she looks for reasons of why her life is going to go wrong.
Right.
And a lot of that goes into trauma theory of like children who've gone through these things, like how they develop habits. They want to have like a set routine. They create little rituals for themselves, which is stuff like I experienced as a kid, and other people who are from tough homes, like they'll understand that. But she uses the rules of like Dungeons and Dragons to create these giants. Like she has a history of it, and she's opening up like the Dungeon and Dragon book on giants and treating it like a sacred text. Like this is how I inform my world, are these rules that I've read, and I will follow them. I will believe I have like these mystical things that can help me. I can do these blood rituals to protect people I love. And as you explore the movie, you see like how she believes this and stuff that we know absolutely isn't true, or is even kind of crazy. Like you really think she has problems, but you understand why she believes these things, why she has
She
to.
needs that in her life. Yeah.
So I thought she did a fantastic performance. I believed her pretty much the entire way. And how you see everyone struggling to connect to her, wants to help her, but she believes I need to block people off because she thinks she's helping them. And it's a really great film. It's very powerful.
It was really well written, performed excellently.
Written by Joe Kelly, who's written so many fantastic comic books like Superman, Deadpool, Spider-Man. He's done
and
a lot of
also
stuff.
And also, I Kill Giants is also a graphic novel.
It was a graphic novel first.
Right.
Very kind of different because it's like in the graphic novel she's a little younger because you're able to show this stuff. But for the film, they adapted it extremely well. Like Joe Kelly worked on the screenplay, so he knew like how it works in the graphic novel and how it works as a movie.
So Joe Kelly wrote the graphic novel, and I think J.M. Ken Nimura. So
yes, he did the art for it, which
Okay.
really great artwork, like very distinctive. Like they translated it as best they could. Like she wears like the bunny ears, like you can tell they're fake ones. Whereas in the comic, it's just a girl with bunny ears. Like there's no distinction that they're not real, like in the art, because you're able to go to that fantasy element.
Now I love that the fact that she creates all these gadgets, this wardrobe, this little world, this bubble, and all the objects inside she creates herself. The traps. What did you guys think of the traps and stuff like that?
Yeah, I enjoyed the intricacies of you know, everything that she did
Yeah.
to, you know, like, I felt like from the outset of the movie, you know, until I kind of got that it was allegorical and the giants were an allegory for something else, I thought I was literally watching a fantasy movie where there literally were giants in the woods. She was the only one that was aware of it, and nobody else believed her because why would they?
Right.
So like when she was making the traps, she was making those potions and stuff, and you know, all that stuff. It was so intricate and thought out, and you know, it was like she was literally following a recipe for cooking something, basically. And you know, to touch on CJ's point as well, the believability, there has to be a level of believability in any role that you take where you can like literally envision this person as truly existing in like everyday life. And I felt that, you know, there were certain points I didn't feel like I was watching a movie where it was like I could imagine a girl like this in my high school or in my middle school,
right?
You know, doing what she's doing,
the outcast, the rebel.
Yeah. And also, CJ, you had said that she doesn't want to be liked, or
she's extremely standoffish.
Yeah.
She's purposely close people off.
I felt like it was more with her that she was just she took what she did very, very seriously, and she was just flippant about the whole social interaction thing. That she's just like the one like she takes what she does very seriously and doesn't really have time for distractions, which social interaction may or may not be. And since it wasn't coming her way anyway, or anything she was getting socially was negative, you know, she was basically just, all right, whatever. I don't really care. I have giants to kill. So, you know, like me or don't. Most people don't like me. I'm cool with that. Nobody understands me. That's cool. I have bunny ears. Yeah. So, you know, let's move on with our lives. And I have giants I have to set traps for.
And you got this, you know, the standard formula of like the bully, you know, hassling her and her overcoming the bully. I think that aspect, it was played okay, but I think it was a little too much in certain parts. But
yeah, they were over. I felt like the bully was over the top, and just how they dressed her, how they sort of made her look
macho, like real macho.
Yeah, I think it kind of fit into the theme of like it's all supposed to be like over the top for like how she views it. Like maybe the bully isn't quite as bad, but this is how she perceives her as well. That she's just a bully. I'm not supposed to like her, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, the bully too. It wasn't like a stereotypical kind of like mean girl bully, where it's, you know, like a Rachel McAdams type or something.
Kind of like a tomboy.
They made her look. You know, they made her look more like what you'd envision almost a male bully to look like, with the jacket and kind of just the messy hair, and not really a lot going on physically or anything.
Not the mean, the pretty mean girls cheerleader.
Yeah,
type,
like it's kind of like they wanted to have a tomboyish bully to go with Miss Wolf's character. Yeah,
and that was played by Sydney. No, not Sydney Wade. Yeah, it's not really important.
She did a good job.
Yeah, she was okay. I didn't think she was great.
I think the allure of the character that Madison Wolfe played was the fact that she was kind of so withdrawn from everybody. So, you know, CJ said you're supposed to fall in love with your character in the first 10 minutes. I mean, I think that's true. I did, but maybe it was because of the fact that she was kind of like playing hard to get almost. Like I didn't like connect with her on so many levels, like where she would be this like hot, you know, pop and snap character where, you know, she's like, you know, your regular hot girl that's gonna be like, oh, come and see about me, you know, like. So I think, and the other things I mentioned where when I was, you know, like kind of her age or like maybe even younger, doing the things that that she did, rather, that kind of attracted me too. I'm like, oh, you know, she plays Dungeons and Dragons, or like she has all these things set up in the woods for at that time I didn't know, but like, you know, I was always like personally like obsessed with like, you know, like Russian folklore and stuff like that. So like I'd be like, oh, Baba Yaga's gonna come through. I gotta like set up traps or like do this. And like, so I have no idea what she's gonna do, but like that from the start kind of like had me interested. I mean, the movie title kind of like gave it away. I'm like, all right, well, giants are gonna come along, I guess. Like, you know, but. So, like, there was all of that, but it was the mystery. It was just, in the end, it was just kind of the mystery and the breadcrumb trail that they had you following, like, in the beginning that kind of, like, attracted me to the character, I guess. And it it was that. So I did kind of fall in love with the character right away. You know what I mean? And who doesn't like bunny ears?
Yeah. It's not like Harry Potter where it's like a young likable kid in bad situations. That she's so like closed off, like she doesn't want you to know about her, but she does so many just weird and interesting things. You're like, I have to know why you're doing this. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know why she believes all this stuff, like how she sees it. Like, it really draws you in.
Yeah, like I don't even think they explain everything either. Like, what are they, milk jugs or whatever? Like, do they ever tell you what's in there?
For giants to walk by and kind of like sniff it.
Yeah, it's like big traps, and she just puts like dead birds in there, like to draw the giants in. So all you see is this girl dressed in like the weird clothes, who's just climbing the telephone pole and dumping like dead bugs and stuff into a jug, and it's like, what's going on there?
What was the red like goo?
That's what I'm saying.
It was like
really
it was like syrup or something.
Yeah, it's like gummy bears and like
right.
mushrooms.
Her
so
own
it's supposed to be like
special post.
It'll draw like giants in or something.
Right.
So you're like trying to figure out like, how's all this going on? Like, why is she making this? Why is she setting it?
Yeah. I thought it was a really well made film.
I
overall.
highly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was surprised, to be honest with you.
I like the swerve too. I felt swerved when, with the mother. I thought it was
no spoilers. By the way.
I thought it was an abusive mother, alcoholism, something like that, and the sister kind of ran the household because the mother just couldn't handle it.
Imogen.
And
to tell you the truth, I was not even thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah,
I thought there were no parents, like classic Disney.
Exactly.
Just like no parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt like I thought when they did the tendril type shadows when she was going up the stairs, I thought that indicated there was some sort of parent there, but they either couldn't handle the household through some sort of addiction issue. Then when they show the picture of the mother and there's the dragon drawn over the mother, that to me just sort of, I just didn't expect it to go where it went. And I'm trying very hard not to spoil it because I did that last time I was here. But
and I think
I enjoyed the swerve.
Imogen.
I think it's Imogen.
Imogen. She was underused, I think.
Yeah, she was underutilized.
She's
there
a very
was a
good
lot more
actress
there
too.
for her. There was a lot more there for that character they could have done. You know, like it was kind of just like, oh well, here's the sister.
Right.
She can't handle it, and we're only going to show her in scenes where she's not being able to handle things.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why can't she handle it?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Well, she's
I think
handling a
that's
lot.
all part of the thing is you're trying to figure out like why this family dynamic is like this. Like, we're seeing it from the girl as the outsider. Like it seems like the sister is tired of dealing with her. The brother doesn't like her. So it's like she doesn't want to connect to her siblings, so we don't connect to her siblings.
Yeah, it's kind of like that basic sibling, disconnect with age groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like the brother, like she's the youngest by, it felt like 5, 6, or 7 years.
She's like 13, 14, I think.
Yeah, and the brother I felt like was 17 or 18.
Right.
And Imogen Poots was probably in her mid-20s.
Mid to late, yeah.
So it felt like just a stereotypical sibling disconnect.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting too.
But they didn't really explore it as best they could.
No. They could have done better with that.
Well, final thoughts on this. I think it's a good fantasy drama. Similar, it kind of reminded me in parts to The Goonies, actually. That kind of team of outsiders, miscasts, that have to like thwart some kind of evil. I don't know. Final thoughts?
I would recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely worth watching, and it's something where it tells a nice story, and it'll make you want to see your family, I guess.
Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, I would recommend it. If you like movies, like really like movies, I would recommend it. It's not your blockbuster action, packed movie, but
it's kind of multiple genres, which is really refreshing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of movies that you can really say that it's like,
Yeah.
But
it packs a lot, but what it packs is really good. So.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Nice. CJ.
Yeah, I thought it was a great like fantasy film, and unlike a lot of kids' movies, it doesn't pretend it's going to be like a feel-good movie. Like it's not about we're going to go on adventures in the woods like Bridge to Terabithia, something like that. Like this is like, to her, this is a serious job. Her life's in danger. Everyone's lives are in danger. She needs to do this, and she brings that gravitas to it. Like as a young girl, like she's dealing with things that no one else can deal with. And you see like the weight of the world on her shoulders, and like what that does to her and why she does all this. I thought it was a fantastic performance, so I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and movies like this they're not like huge blockbusters, so they need our help in supporting it and like bringing it to the consciousness of standard moviegoers, you know. But yeah, I hope it really gets the attention it deserves because it's really good. Okay, guys, moving on to a very different film. It's called Madame, and basically here's the synopsis. A wealthy and well-connected couple asks their maid to masquerade as a wealthy heiress, and chaos ensues. I injected that in. But Nick, what did you think of Madame?
I enjoyed this movie as well. I liked how much I didn't like Toni Collette's character.
Toni Collette plays like this heiress or this just rich woman.
Just a rich housewife.
Yeah.
Who's, you know, the husband's in it. You know, the husband's clearly 30 years older than her.
Harvey Keitel
going through a crisis.
Like, what the hell is he doing in this movie?
He has or had money at some point, and she married him for it. That much is clear.
Right.
And she's just a difficult person. She's that stereotypical housewife that you watch on those reality shows where she has way too much time on her hands, nothing better to do, and she takes it out. She occupies herself by being a terrible person to help.
Right. And basically the premise is she has a dinner party for was it 12 people?
13 people.
Well,
she can't have 13 people.
Well, wasn't it originally 12, and then the son comes in.
Somebody else was invited that made it 13.
13, and she fearing bad luck, she has her maid become the 14th to prevent bad luck, and it's actually a pretty interesting premise.
It's a nice love story surrounded by what felt to me like a Shakespearean class-based dilemma where
rich versus the middle class.
Yeah, they ask her to masquerade as somebody, so they have an extra person, so you know they don't get rained on by locusts, and she falls in love with somebody the maid falls in love with somebody there. Yeah. And Toni Collette just cannot handle it. She can't even.
So, what's she doing in my world?
Yeah, exactly. It's like of all the things to care about, she cares about this.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I liked it. Not as I don't think it was as good as I Kill Giants, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It made me chuckle at certain points, just like, why do you care about this stuff? But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good. Obi?
I think the most memorable thing for me about the movie was the actual theme song in the beginning. Like when they're riding bikes. I didn't really like the movie that much, but I think it was a miscast. Harvey Keitel is not the person I think of when you say rich art dealer.
Yeah.
Like, he had a couple of funny lines, but I feel like they were given away in the trailer. The first thing I did when you mentioned the movie was look up the trailer. I always watch the trailer. I mean, maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But I just like to see. And the trailer looks funny. It looks really funny.
Right.
You know? And I'm like, oh, this is going to be funny. I don't think I've seen too many movies with him playing like a comedic role. Like most of the time, like Harvey Keitel's not in a comedic role.
Well, he was basically playing himself in this.
He really was just there, though. You're absolutely right about that.
He was just a wooden character. Right. He just didn't have a whole lot to do, and like every now and then he's just kind of like almost joking. Like he's just kind of like joking with himself. Like, isn't it funny? I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here. Like almost. Like, so he just kind of took the paycheck to be like. Laughing at the fact Harvey Keitel, you know. But I feel like it would have been better if you. I'm trying to, but that's where I stumble because I'm like, who would be better to put in the role?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just
Colin Firth. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. But anyway, I think what's her name? Rossi De Palma.
Yeah,
is that it?
Rossi De Palma.
I think she had a lot of heart, and she was like this very non-classical, like love interest, to say the least. And she definitely carried a lot of the soul of the film, and I think that was the cute part of the film.
Yeah,
really.
Very charming.
That's the word. Charming is good. It was really just like a Cinderella story, I guess. For the most part, but it just didn't. I'll forget this movie. Yeah. I really think I'm just gonna forget this movie.
Okay.
Honestly.
That's cool. It's not on your radar.
No. I never, ever would have watched this movie.
No.
Ever.
Well, thank you for putting up with it.
I know.
CJ, Thoughts on Madame?
Yeah, it felt very much like it was trying to be a comedy of manners. Like it's trying to be more like an Oscar Wilde kind of thing, where it's like you bring in these upper class people, who each have their own things going on. Then it's the person comes in with the misconception, like the importance of being earnest. Like that's what it's trying to go for, but I feel like it doesn't quite land. Like they have the dinner party with all the guests, and it's supposed to be each person has their own quirk, but it's like I don't really get a sense of much of it. Like they have characters who are just kind of there, or they try to use them for comedy, and it doesn't really feel like it works. Like the stepson writer is appropriately quirky. Toni Collette is appropriately like jealous and insecure. Harvey Keitel is appropriately like flippant and possibly having an affair. Like they kind of set all that up, but it doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Like the best part of the movie is indeed like the maid and the rich man who falls in love with her, thinking that she's also rich, and like the misunderstanding of like, does he know who she really is? And they kind of set that up. Like I enjoyed, like it felt like a very classic like romance movie between them. Like I enjoyed the setup of it, and then the idea of Toni Collette going after them just kind of felt a little forced. Like it felt like it wasn't.
Like what was her motivation for not wanting her there?
Besides just, I don't want my maid to be happy. Yeah.
Maybe it's the wrong format. Like maybe this would be a great TV show. You know what I mean?
You mean an episodic?
Yeah, like maybe that's. Sometimes I step back and I think like maybe I just didn't get to know these characters well enough. Like maybe if I saw an entire season shelling out everybody,
so like
maybe it'd be great.
So
Who
basically,
knows?
The Nanny.
But done as like a French drama.
Yeah.
A French drama sitcom would be kind of interesting. But
Yeah,
I feel like the movie's supposed to go like it's not supposed to really be a happy movie. Like it's never going full comedy. It has jokes. It has charm at some parts, but it's like it's never said like we want to go for the big happy ending. Like this is going to be like Bridget Jones' Diary kind of movie.
No.
Yeah, well, because it obviously.
It's
doesn't
saying
go that
like
way.
this is supposed to be French. It's like bittersweet. It is a French film. They usually go for that.
Yeah, it's really a Cinderella story, and not. I mean, I liked it. I didn't think. I think
Like if it was about the maid, I would enjoy it a lot more. But it is called Madame,
Right.
and it's supposed to be about Toni Collette and how she sees this love story happening and wants to do everything she can to put a stop to it because she's insecure of herself, which seems to be the point of the movie. But I feel like we don't really get to know her a lot.
Do you think it would have benefited if it went darker? Like the Madame became like psychotically jealous, and go after her.
It would be better, but it would definitely be more interesting. I feel like it just kind of like the conflict existed. Like it never went to a point where it felt like any characters were pushed too much to action beyond just like talking about it or making snide comments. Like if it had gone darker or lighter, if it had just gone more in any direction, I feel like it could have done more to it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I accepted this screening link because I saw Harvey Keitel's name attached, and
I would have probably fell for the same trap.
you would have.
Yeah.
I do love
Honestly,
Harvey Keitel.
yeah. He's
And
great.
He's just there. He's allowed to like stumble through some French and just talk about pretty women. He's like, okay, sign me up. I'll get a paycheck.
I just hope he doesn't go the route of Robert De Niro and just making anything that comes his way, and just he's a walking punchline. But whatever.
I didn't really think too much about Harvey Keitel being in it. And Obi, you made a good. When you started talking about him sort of being miscast in it, I almost feel like now that I really think about it, I feel like he was just sort of there for the age gap between him and Toni Collette's character, where she's freaking out about something so minuscule and just dumb, and he just has no patience for it. He really doesn't seem to care. He's just like, can we go eat now?
Right.
Like, we're supposed to be out to dinner. Can we go
Well,
eat?
yeah,
Come on.
I mean-
Like, why are we doing this? Why do you care? Like,
Silly.
so fire her. Like, it's not a big deal.
Makes it complicated. And this kind of reminds me of a movie that came out last year. I don't know if you guys saw it. Beatrice at Dinner. Selma Hayek plays. She also plays.
I saw that one.
She plays a massage therapist to a rich woman, and her car breaks down, so she invites her to dinner. And it's also about that awkward class struggle. That was a lot better than.
I feel like it doesn't belong. That was a very good drama. Like,
Fish
I
Out of
liked her
Water.
performance there.
Yeah,
I
that was
have
much
to
better.
check that one out. I
Yeah,
didn't see that one.
it was
I've
really good.
only seen dinner
I am
for
a
schmucks.
sucker for romantic comedies where it's like the misconception of it, like the importance of being earnest. Like I love whenever that happens. I don't care how over the top it is. Like it will usually sell me, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. But I feel like they never took it too much to any other places. It just kind of was there to exist, and then to other characters to react to.
Right. So, guys, we only got like a minute or so left. But is there real quick? What's one movie you guys are looking forward to seeing?
The one with the people in it.
Okay, good. Obi.
Oh man,
I know what you're gonna say.
I don't want to go too easy on this.
Yeah.
One movie I'm really I'm trying to. All right, hold on. Deep cut. Let me think. All right, CJ, you first.
CJ.
I'm looking forward to Ready Player One. I hope that's good.
Yes.
I just saw Pacific Rim 2, which it was good. Not as good as the first one. I feel like, though, Pacific Rim 2 is the Power Rangers movie we deserve to have.
That's what everyone is saying.
I like the Power Rangers movie.
Like, I enjoyed it, but we didn't see them and robots fighting monsters. We got them fighting, like, a big old blob thing. I'm like, no, give me the goofy monsters. Let me see the big fight. And I felt like that's what Pacific Rim 2 was.
Okay. All right.
All right, so
Did you get one?
it's a superhero movie anyway, but I guess the one I'm most kind of like interested in, really, to see how it turns out, because we're not hearing anything about, is Aquaman.
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, November or December.
That sounds right.
Because we're hearing like all this stuff about like Shazam's releasing set photos and like all these behind the scene ones.
No, Shazam is... Yeah,
well, no, that's Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi Shazam.
Right.
Okay.
But like that's coming out even after Aquaman, so I'm really curious. Like, why are they not saying anything about Aquaman?
Yeah, you're not hearing
Is
it.
that still James Wan directing yet?
Yep.
I love Aquaman.
So I'm really curious how that turns out.
I like how they handled him in Justice League, to be honest with you. But,
I mean, I know Infinity War is going to be great, and I'm scared to death of Venom, but you know, so
we'll see what happens with those.
So,
and okay, guys,
that one I'm genuinely curious about.
Yes. Last question. Well, it's not a question, but just plug something. What do you have anything to plug? Websites?
Listen to the wrestling podcast about wrestling. It is my wrestling podcast. I can be found on Twitter and Instagram at Comando with 1M, not the Schwarzenegger movie.
Okay. Oh, yes. OB.
If I had something to plug, I would plug it.
Don't you have a YouTube channel?
Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fine. New York City, NYC Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know what I'm plugging. We're a non-profit organization.
It's all right. Get the word out.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
All right.
And finally, CJ.
I'll plug Under the Radar brand coffee. That's the best part of waking up.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's nothing you can
Okay. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being on. This has been amazing, and I hope to have you guys on again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is great. So we'll be back again next Sunday, and I'm your host, Rain Younger. This has been Under the Radar. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
Wow.